Every setup is like a bus. If you miss the bus, what do? You wait for the next one, right? Every setup is like a bus. If a setup, if I miscalculate a setup or miss a setup, or the setup didn't follow my trading guideline rules, I simply wait for the next setup. This helps you avoid FOMO. This helps you avoid this FOMO into taking this move that is not very high probability. And welcome to the market recap. Today, there was no setup. There was a setup, but what do if the setup does not follow your trading guideline rules? You wait for the next setup and see if the next setup follows your trading guideline rules and possibly execute the setup, right? Simple as that. So today we were overall bearish, and I gave it to this Discord as well. Let me go get the picture to this before. Many of you guys may think this is insights, but I do got the pictures and shit like that. So let me go and grab that for you guys here. This is the before math right over here. This is the for site. As you can see. Now that's the after. This is the before. We did have a setup. I did inform the Discord about this potential move, but I didn't see it there, so I didn't get the setup because there's no deep OT. So I was like, I'm not going to execute because there's no deep OT. So today was overall Monday. We had a big fucking push to the downside. GU wasn't moving at all. GU was stagnating, but EU was plummeting. I do want to see some sort of, as I said before, we're gonna see some sort of retracement slash a consolidation for the seasonal tendency. So I do want to see some sort of a fuckery, right? I do want to see some sort of fuckery slash retracement. So that's gonna cause the dollar to go up higher a little bit. Then eventually in the long term go overall bearish. So on the weekly, with the higher time drawn liquidity to the downside, we had a weekly ERL to this weekly IRL, as well as a weekly C to the downside, as well as we had a we are in the third candle. So in the third candle of the weekly time frame, we're looking for expansions, right? That's why this candle expanded pretty hard, but it could also probably be wrong. That's why we're focusing on the short-term draw liquidity over the long-term draw liquidity. On the daily time frame, we did have this ERL already there, but since on a daily time we already had an ERL here, so we had daily ERL back to this IRL. This IRL at the moment has an SMT. So if you just execute a trade, that trade, literally you're getting back into drawdown. You literally market's coming back all the way to your entry back. So we have this SMT right now currently. Tomorrow I'm gonna be bullish, but I may still be bearish. I don't know. But because I don't trade tomorrow. Tomorrow's the day before FOMC meeting minutes. And as you guys know, we did not trade the day before FOMC meeting minutes and FOMC meeting press conference. As well, we had a daily time frame S&P to the downside. We as well had another daily CRT to the downside. This scan right over here, which both got met beautifully. And that's what we had in the higher time frame. We were overall looking for a classic expression profile 2 to the downside, Monday high of the week. We could have already predetermined that because market was just plummeting, and that told us like, yeah, there's gonna be possibly high chance of that happening. Now going on to the higher time frame, lower time frame. Not higher time frame, for the lower. Let's go to the lower time frame over here for the market context and narrative. What we had here, we had daily range, right? Super low, super high, stable low, stable high. Although we did super low, super high over here, but that daily range already got met. So this is the most relevant daily range: super low, super high, stable low, stable high, premium discount. We tap the premium daily range low. We as well had a range high, range low. Range high got purged. Range high got SMT on, so we now with a range low, as well as we had a near continuation. We had OTE, but the OTE never got met. That's why I didn't take a trade. And today I could have definitely taken a trade, but as you guys know, if there is not a OTE to the 0.50% mark, 0.86 mark, I do not take a trade on a near continuation, because that is how you prevent a lot of stupid position. And OT could go very deep, and also you sometimes you won't go very deep. Since I saw the agency had a CRT here, I was like, this is definitely going to be some sort of a OT, and I want to prevent taking stupid trades on that, right? So going down to lower time frame, we had this is our 5 a.m. CRT. We're obviously looking for a new continuation here. As well, our big candle, our CRT was 5 a.m. CRT. And we had a pretty much equal lows here, which market was high likely to go down there too. So what else we had here was that we had a CRT. The CRT didn't have a bad high, so looking for a repurge. So that's why I say OT and that. So if you go look into this, right, this one that had a bad high. So he had the right bound one, he gets stopped out. Market eventually gives it right. Eventually, why did he get stopped out here? Because there's no bad high. So just not a bad high. We're looking for a repurge. Eventually, we got a repurge. For the repurge, there must be a bad high there, right? So the repurge had a bad high, so we had a bad high repurge. Eventually, from the bad high repurge with the right amount of one, but the market never tapped the resistance block as well as the time ran out. We had 11 a.m. without any setups, and I can't even take it because during that time the OT was all around here, which we didn't have the retracement there. We did have some sort of SMT. If you go to the quoted asset, there was a big SMT, but for the SMT, to me, my trading guidelines is there's like on a OTE. SMT does not work out, right? So it's just through my experience, right? I've seen SMTs on OTs a lot, and I've just seen it getting disrespected left and right. I've seen myself getting setups. One pair taps the deep OTE while the other one doesn't, and my pair has SMT, and I enter the trade. I think I'm fine. It gets stopped out. Market does a deep OTE, then eventually goes down to my direction. So, and in my perspective, I don't see there being SMTs on OTs at all. I wait for the 0.50% mark to 0.86 mark in order for me to execute a trade. Otherwise, I do not execute. At the moment, probably wonder, well, he tapped OTE, but that was after, right? After the market made a big ass push to the downside. So, yeah, that's the market recap. No setup. As I said at the start of the video, if you miss a bus, what do? Wait for the next bus, obviously, right? If the setup, every setup is like a bus, right? If you miscalculate a setup, or the setup didn't follow trading guideline rules like this, or the setup was missed, what do? You wait for the next bus. You don't change the bus. So if you were to change the bus all the way down here, you're gonna get fucking stopped out, right? So you want to wait for the next bus, and my goal is to only take high probability setups, right? So since taking only high probability setups, it's not gonna happen every single day, right? Not every bus is gonna be high probability. So we may need to because one bus may kidnap us, right? One bus may kidnap us. It may be a robber. You might get kidnapped, right? So this is this is a weird term, but you guys get it, right? So not every setup is a high probability setup, and we want to wait for the highest probability setup, right? Which is the setup that follows all of our trading guideline rules, which logically makes sense. And I'll see you guys later. This is a market recap. And tomorrow I'm not trading. Why? The day before FOMC meeting minutes. FOMC meeting minutes. If you are a total soup trader, if you trade total soup, you could definitely trade the day before FOMC meeting minutes. But I will see tomorrow. If the only time I trade the day before FOMC meeting minutes, if there's a deep OTE, and the deep OTE is at 886 mark, right? So at the 886 mark, if it's around there and it's a key level, then I can take it. If you go back to the lower time frame and you see the 886 mark, it perfectly aligns at the body of the resistance block. You can see it isn't perfectly aligned, but it's near it, right? So basically, it's on that zone. You see this very equal highs here on the bodies, which is a very great sign, right? So this could be a very good total soup out of here. So market go back up, respect the OTE, tap the 0.86 market, and eventually go down lower. That'll be beautiful. Push that downside. I'll probably want to see that happen on Wednesday. I do want to see that happen because I do want to see some sort of deep OTE, because as you guys know, whenever the market does some sort of a big push to the downside, it usually gets recovered a lot. So I do want to see that pull back up. And on the correlated asset, we had SMT with GU. The DXY, we had no SMT, but GU, we did have some sort of SMT right around here. So the SMT didn't even work out in our favor on GU. I do want to see GU push up higher, which can potentially create this SMT, but I do want to see EU push up higher around the extreme side of the OT. And yeah, thank you for watching. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share. See you on the description down below, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.